All right, so I just read this on the internet a little bit ago, so I know it's true. So, um, I heard that car manufacturers are literally only making the cars to break down at 100,000 miles so that you have to get a new one. In fact, it's like why the warranty ends at 100,000 miles, or in some cases, 60,000 miles on the big stuff. And of course, it's only like, what, 35, 36,000 miles on everything else. So I'm pretty sure it's true that cars are supposed to break at 100,000 miles.
I can understand why you'd think that. So what you have going on, there's some things that are just out of the car manufacturer's control. It's not that it's meant to break down at 100,000. It's the fact that they know it's going to break down at 100,000 because we have to use wear and tear parts on some of the components because it's how the systems work. And they know that on average, because it's not a consistent across the board thing, but on average, most cars start having more problems at 100,000 or after 100,000. This is why maintenance is super important, because the more maintenance you do before that 100,000, the less breakdowns you have after the 100,000. Now, the other side of that is you don't have to go buy a new car at 100,000. You can just buy more miles on your new car. And what that looks, or not your new car, but the car that you've been driving. You can buy those more miles for half the price that you would. Let's say that your conspiracy holds true just for a second.
And my conspiracy, I read it on the internet.
The conspiracy that you read holds true. Let's say that at 100,000 miles, you were going to go buy another car for $40,000 just so it could go to 100,000 miles. What if I told you that after that first 100,000 miles, we can buy 100,000 more miles for a quarter, if that, of that $40,000?
So for like $10,000, I can get another 100,000 miles?
Less than that. Less than that. For
And
most,
how are you going to do that? Maintenance, you said?
it's going to be maintenance and taking care of those wear items. A wear item is anything that's going to wear down over time. It's not anything that's causing it to break down. It's just time. Like your tires. If you leave tires on your car for too long, they're eventually going to start cracking because they're rubber. Well, the other things that are rubber are going to do the same thing. If they're on there long enough and you use it enough, they're going to start cracking. The hoses, the ball joints, any type of item that either has fluid going through it, most of those lines and those hoses are rubber, or anything that's a shock absorber. Something that's metal can't be a shock absorber because it's not going to absorb anything. You have to have that cushion so it gets used over and over, and finally it just gets worn out where we need to change it.